Fox News Alert as we await the White House press briefing, where we could get more detail on President Trump's first major trade deal since taking office. The U.S. and South Korea have agreed to a deal that promises to boost American car imports and limit exports and limit imports on South Korean steel. A senior administration official describes the agreement as visionary and innovative. Just in the last hour, President Trump tweeted this: U.S. trade rep just announced an agreement in principle with South Korea on chorus, a great deal for American and Korean workers. Let's now focus on our important security relationship. Republican Congressman Doug Collins from Georgia is vice chair of House Republican Conference. Great to see you today. This story is not ahead, of the game here, giving the president a lot of credit, kind of not in the headlines. Why is that?
Well, I think it's something that's coming out, and it's also just a general, except for most of the media. Most of the media would rather see this president, distracted by other things. And the great part about it is the president's not distracted by other things. He's doing exactly what he came into office to do. One of the biggest things he talked about was trade, helping American workers. This South Korea deal is one that is, I think, the first of many that we're going to see in leveling the playing field for our products around the world.
Well, and the timing of it is so interesting, because this president potentially could be meeting with the other side of the peninsula, North Korea. I want to talk with you about what exactly the deal does and why it's being called innovative.
Well, I think what it is innovative is it goes back and it really an agreement that was very slanted against the American interest at the time. And I think we saw that in the growth and the inequity of the trade balance that we had with South Korea. But what it did was it took some of the things that were actually put into place, and South Korea came to the table and said, to get an exemption from the steel tariff, they're going to allow more cars into the country. They're going to allow a more workable relationship with their customs folks coming into the country, not just on cars and things like that, but things like that are important to the Midwest and my district, like agriculture.
Yeah, I'm seeing the word steel pop up, and just a short time ago, the president was taking some heat for steel tariffs at all, let alone those that would touch China. If you can, talk to me about maybe success being contagious. I like to say that. I don't know if it applies here with trade deals. What do you think?
Well, I think success is always contagious. When you have an outstanding outlook of life, I think that is contagious to anybody that wants to come along. This president generally has an outlook that says America is a good place, that America is a leader in the world. I support the president in that. I think when we step forward and recognize the good in our country, and we recognize the good around the world, that our products and our innovative ideas, our intellectual property, when that brings to the world, when we show that light, I think that puts our country in the light that it should be. Too many times we get bogged down in thinking of the problems we have here. Every country has problems, but we're the leader of the world, and I think the president really sets that example in these deals and wanting to look ahead for us.
Sometimes we see people across the political aisle from you, Democrats, saying that tariffs and the such, that there's a risk in getting tough with these trade deals. Why do they say that?
Harris, I'm not sure what the Democrats want to do anymore, except they want to play political games and trying to defeat this president in November and defeat the House majority. And I think that's one of the things that we got to look at. At this point, they've got to figure out what they want to say yes to, and they got to quit living in the past. But I think what we got to realize is that Democrats understand in their districts, their businesses right now that are profiting from tax reform. They're members in their districts that are taking their extra income and applying it to their college loans, or maybe applying it to their credit card, or maybe just buying a new pair of tennis shoes for their kids, or maybe having that special vacation. When they have to acknowledge that the economy is doing better, business is doing better, they're just grasping at straws. And that kind of attitude is not looking forward in American thinking. It's saying we got to put ourselves in a position to lead, and I think that's what the president's doing.
Bottom line, you see the South Korea deal as a big deal.
I think South Korea is a big deal because it's the first of many deals where the president has talked about repositioning ourselves in trade deals around the world. When we're repositioning ourselves to say that we want what is best for our country, but also what is best for their country, that's a new way to look at this. That's a win-win. That's what we look at in business deals. The president is looking at that for our country, and I think the country is better off for it.
Congressman Collins from the great state of Georgia, I understand visiting Kansas City, Kansas. Say hello to the NASCAR track for me while you're there. Good to see you.
We'll do it. I understand you have a big presence out here.
I was there for a long time on Fox. Yes, that's true.
I've had many people tell me, they said, oh, you're going to be on with Harris. Well, tell her to say hello. So Kansas City says hello, Harris.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you.